I'm going to be ranking the best budget cards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, we do have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 25 of the best budget cards in the game. You guys might be asking, what do you consider a budget card? I would say any card below 25,000 MT is going to be considered a budget card. If you guys quickly look at the cards here, you'll see some cards ranging from 2,000 MT, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, all the way up to 25 to 30,000 MT. And I do think, in my opinion, that is going to be the limit for budget. But let me know in the comment section down below, what price range do you guys consider as a budget card? But like I said, for this tier list, every card is going to be below about 25 to 30,000 MT. But looking at the first budget card here is going to be Diamond Alex Caruso. I would say Caruso probably still a B tier budget card. I mean, he's still a really good point guard, 6'4" with a 6'5" wingspan. He's going to give you some great defense, 90 perimeter, 91 lateral quickness, 90 steal. So he's going to be a great all-around defender. Now, offensively, he obviously isn't anything too crazy. He does have the MJ dribble style, the best dribble style in the game, and he has the best leaner as well, the normal leaner. His jump shot is on quick timing as well, so he's got a good jump shot, good dribble sigs, right? He can move pretty well, and his defensive stats and badges are going to be very elite. So I think Caruso still a very underrated point guard that not that many people are talking about, and I still feel deserves at least a B tier spot. Now, Jared Allen I think is also going to be in the B tier category, another really good budget card that I feel like not that many people talk about anymore. Like, Jared Allen is still really good. He's 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan. He's gonna give you good defense just like a guy like Caruso, except it's gonna be for big man. So 92 interior defense, 90 block, but then he also does have 80 steal, 79 lateral quickness with a 79 perimeter. So this card can definitely play some very elite defense. He's gonna be super good at finishing around the basket, having a 90 driving dunk, 90 standing dunk, and he's a glitch card. So he does have a 91 3 ball, 85 mid range with some really good Hall of Fame and gold shooting badges. So I mean, Jared Allen, I think for a budget card, gonna be in that B tier category. Now, Thurl Bailey, 1000% gonna be in the S tier category. If you guys don't know, my S tier category is gonna be my top 5 budget cards in the game, and I think Thurl Bailey 1000% is gonna be in that top 5. I mean, he's basically just a budget pink diamond Giannis. He's got a great jump shot, 6'11" at the small forward spot, great badges, and all around good stats wise. So I think Thurl Bailey easily gonna be in that S tier category. Now, Amethyst Mo Bamba, I think is just a tier below guys like Jared Allen and Caruso. Like, if we're comparing Jared Allen to Mo Bamba, I think it's definitely very close, but I'm just gonna go Mo Bamba in that C tier category. And then talking about our first A tier budget card, I do believe it's gonna be the Stephon Marbury, who I think might honestly get moved up to S tier later in the video, because this Marbury card is an absolute beast at the point guard position. But I think for now, I'm just gonna keep him in the A tier spot, and then later in the video, I'll decide if he's gonna be a top 5 budget card. But he's 6'3" with a 6'4" wingspan, obviously can play the point guard and shooting guard position. I mean, just take a look at his stats. Like, these are some really good defensive stats, you know, 95 perimeter, 95 lateral quickness, 94 steal. He's also got Hall of Fame claim breaker, quick first step, challenger glove, so 4 really good Hall of Fame badges. And then he's even going to be super fast, 95 speed, 95 acceleration. He's got 92 ball handle, 95 speed with ball. I mean, he's basically just Gary Payton, but a tiny bit worse. I mean, Stephon Marbury gonna be for budget cards at least in the A tier category. I think Marco Fultz is kind of on the same level as a guy like Caruso. I don't think he's necessarily better than Caruso, but overall still another really good budget point guard. Diamond Rudy Gay, easily going to be in that A tier category. I mean, he's just a great all-around small forward, and he's going to be a super good slasher as well. I mean, you guys probably know by now why this Rudy Gay card is super elite. He's pretty much on everybody's budget squad, at least when I play an unlimited or just when I, you know, rate budget team, stuff like that. Pretty much every single budget team I see has this Rudy Gay card because he's so elite. He's small forward, power forward, 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan. He's going to be a great slasher. Like I said, 95 driving dunk, 95 vertical. He's going to be really fast for a small forward as well, 90 speed, 90 acceleration. And then he does have some really good Hall of Fame badges, including limitless takeoff, posterizer, amped, and then defensively, not going to be the greatest stats and badges wise, but I do feel like he's a pretty solid defender. He has a good player model, and jump shot is really nice as well. We all know Rudy Gay has a really good jump shot this year, so overall I do believe he's going to be at least in the A tier category, just like Stephon Marbury. Maybe gets moved up to S tier later in the video. Diamond De'Aaron Fox, I think, is another really just good diamond point guard alongside a guy like Caruso and Marco Fultz. I think they're very, not necessarily similar in cards. They all have different play styles. Caruso's more defensive, you know, orientated. good. De'Aaron Fox is just super fast, and then Marco Fultz is probably one of the better all-around Amethyst point guards in the game. So I think they're very similar in how good they are, and all going to be in the B tier category. Now, Diamond George Gerving, I think, is also another really solid budget card. I do believe he at least deserves to be in the B tier spot. He's a 6'7" shooting guard, 6'10" wingspan, and this card gives you some good all-around play. Like, there's really no flaws with this card. He's got 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 90 vertical, 80 driving dunk, so he's going to be good at going to the basket. He's a great defender. He's pretty fast for a 6'7" shooting guard, 90 ball handle, 92 speed with ball. Like, nothing too crazy for George Gerving. I think for a budget card, he's only about like 8,000 to 9,000 MT, maybe even a little bit cheaper. So for that price tag, I do believe he deserves to be in the B tier category. Now, an A tier budget card is easily going to be this Diamond Giannis. I mean, we all know why Giannis is one of the best budget cards in the game. I mean, it's crazy to say that Diamond Giannis is under 10,000 MT. The same with guys like Rudy Gay and Stephon Marbury. Like, each of these cards are all under 10,000 MT, which is ridiculous. So Giannis easily going to be in my A tier category. And then another A tier budget card is easily going to be this Jonathan Isaac. He's a great all-around defender. Like, that's definitely why you want to play this card, is for his defense. And once again, he's also super cheap, about 15,000 MT, which I think is just absolutely crazy for the value he does provide. I mean, he's a 6'11" small forward, 7'2" wingspan. He's going to give you some great all-around defense, 93 block, 89 steal, 92 lateral quickness with an 88 perimeter and an 88 interior defense. So great defender. He can knock down threes. He's decently fast. I mean, he doesn't do anything too crazy on the offensive end, but for the defense he provides, stats and badges wise, like, he's pretty much got every single badge in the game, at least on gold, at least the ones that he needs. Like, he doesn't really need rebound chaser, brick wall, or box obese. And then shooting badges wise, he's even got, you know, gold catch and shoot, claymore, corner specialist, green machine, guard up, which are 5 really good gold shooting badges. So overall, Jonathan Isaac easily going to be an A tier budget card, maybe even in the S tier category. Now, another A tier budget card, we've been talking about some really good cards as of late. I mean, this Kevin Porter Jr. is another really good point guard. I'll talk about him a little bit more later in the video when I'm deciding if he's going to be in the S tier category, because I think he is a very solid argument to be a top 5 budget card in the game. But easily in the top 5 is going to be Diamond Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, KP is an absolute demigod. He's a 7'3" center who's probably the best pick and pop center in the game right now. Like I said, 7'3" center with a 7'6" wingspan, and he does have a 93 ball, 90 mid range. He's got a great jump shot for a center, one of the best in my team right now. And then he also does have Hall of Fame catch and shoot, corner specialist, deadeye, and limitless range as well on a 7'3" center who's got a great player model in game. Like, I know he's not the fastest, I know he's not the greatest defender, but for like 25,000-30,000 MT, this card is super good value and definitely a top 5 budget card. Jonathan Kuminga, I think, is going to be in the B tier category. He's definitely one of the better cards in B tier, but I don't think he really provides anything too crazy. Now, I will say Lauri Markkanen, I'm really not the biggest fan of this card. I know when he was released, I was kind of hyped about him because he's a 6'11" small forward, and I thought he was going to be like a crazy good demigod, but really wasn't the biggest fan of the card when I did use him. Talking about Amethyst Levert, I think he's probably in the B tier category. I think you can maybe argue as A tier, I should say. He's a really good defender, can knock down threes at a very high level. Talking about Diamond Evan Mobley, just like a guy like Jonathan Isaac, easily going to be in the A tier category. I mean, these guys in A tier, all some of the best budget cards in the game, and a lot of them will get moved up to S tier later in the video. But looking at Mobley here, he's a power forward center, 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. He gives you some amazing defense for the power forward or center position as well, and that's one of the reasons why I love this Mobley card the most, or like the reason why he's one of my favorite budget cards in the game right now, is because of the versatility on the card. He can be a really good power forward and a really good center as well because of the defensive stats. He has a pretty good player model. I'd probably recommend running him at power forward over center, but overall, Mobley easily going to be in my A tier category. Diamond DeJounte Murray, very similar to a guy like Caruso and De'Aaron Fox, all really good diamond point guards, just not on the same level as a guy like Marbury, but still going to be deserving of at least the B tier category. Obi Toppin, see, now I was a big fan of Obi Toppin when he first released, but I'm not really the biggest fan of the card anymore. I still feel like he's a decent power forward, but there's just so many better options, especially for budget. Thurl Bailey, Giannis, Jonathan Isaac, even at the power forward position, Evan Mobley, I think are just all better power forwards. And is there any power forwards in B tier? There's not, but there's just some other better power forwards in the game right now, especially for the budget tier. Now, Amethyst Poku, I do believe deserves to be at least in the B tier category, but honestly is one of the best cards in B tier. Like, this card is absolutely ridiculous for only being an Amethyst. I think when this card gets a pink diamond or an opal, you know, later in the year, he could be an absolute demigod because he's 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan. He can obviously play these small forward position, which just off the bat is crazy to say, and it's crazy that we got a 7'3" 7-foot small forward who pretty much has 80 in every single category. Like, you guys can really look and pause the screen if you want to, but he's basically got 80 in every single category. And then when you go to the animation screen, he's got his jump shot on quick timing, so he's got a super fast jump shot, and it's going to be very easy to green. And then they gave him the MJ dribble style and the normal leaner as well, which means his movement's going to be really good. He can shoot the normal fades on next gen like this. Poku card, an absolute beast and definitely deserving of the B tier spot. Honestly, I'm going to throw I'm going to throw Cam Reddish in the A tier category. I do believe he could be in the B tier spot, but he'd be the best card in B tier in my opinion. I think he's a really good 6'8" shooting guard and deserving of the A tier category. Diamond T Ross, I think, is very solid. I would say he's probably in the B tier category. Really good rim runner, pretty much going to be dunking on everybody and has a solid jump shot. So I'd say T Ross probably in the B tier category. Now talking about Diamond Shea, easily going to be in the S tier category. I mean, he's one of the best point guards in my team. Like, I think he's the second best point guard, and the fact that you can get him for around 30,000 MT is super good value. So definitely a top 5 budget card, easily going to be in the S tier category. Now Jeremy Shohan, I think, is actually a very solid and very underrated card. He does provide you with some really good defense. Like, I mean, just take a look at these defensive stats: 90 block, 92 steal, 93 lateral, 90 perimeter, and a 90 interior defense as well. So he's going to be a great defender. I'm not the biggest fan of his jump shot. It's going to be on slow timing, and he does move really slow for a small forward. So I think for me, he's probably going to be in the C tier category, but a very underrated Amethyst card that I do think is very usable and one of the best, Amethyst small forwards in my team. And then to round off the list, guys, we're going to throw Amethyst Taco in the B tier category. I mean, there's not much to be said with this card. He's a 7'6" center with an 8'2" wingspan, unstoppable on the offensive end, just going to be really slow and obviously can't shoot threes. So now, guys, we have to move 2 cards from A tier into the S tier category. So let me know in the comment section down below, which 2 cards in A tier would you guys move up to the S tier category? I think for me, for the point guard position, it's between Stephon Marbury, Kevin Porter Jr. as one of the cards to go up in S tier, and then the rest of them is pretty much like Mobley, Jonathan Isaac, Giannis, and Rudy Gay as well. And it's a really tough decision. I think I'm going to throw Mobley and Marbury into the S tier category. KPJ just barely missing out. Same thing with guys like Rudy Gay, Giannis, and Jonathan Isaac. I just think Marbury is the second best budget point guard in the game. Mobley and Thurl Bailey really good at the power forward spot, and then obviously Kristaps the best budget center. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my budget card tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.